How's it going, everybody? It's your boy McWhoopin, and today we are back with yet another episode of Cities Skylines, and we are beginning with our episode 2 of Season 2 for our new little town here. And today we are going to focus in on our infrastructure, specifically going to try to get ourselves power. I'm going to actually build myself a nice little dam going over top here, as well as running power lines throughout the entire area, and probably even doing a little bit more highway stuff just to kind of get all that going. Probably just be one of the easiest kind of ways to get this going, get that sorted out, have all the stuff that we need, so we don't have to worry about it in the future. So kind of get our bones going before we start fleshing out everything. So now I'll turn this over to the time lapse, and I will see you off at the end of the broadcast. Okay, so first things first here, as I said, I'm going to try to get myself a dam going through to get some hydroelectric power. It worked well in the hippie commune slash organic farm area. Get that natural resources going. And so start building up top here, getting that going, having it right on the top of the lake bed that's kind of up there in the mountains. An optimal spot of where a dam would be placed. But fortunately, downside is going to be is that it doesn't quite work out that way, as the game doesn't like it, which I'll find out later. But then say I start building the road kind of down, and since it's kind of up there anyways, I'm like, oh, let's see if I can build myself a road going down this way as well, and connecting into suburbia, kind of having a little bit of a scenic ring road. Now looking through, seeing, oh yeah, there's no power being generated whatsoever. I think, oh, maybe just needs to have the electrical lines kind of running. Nope, that's not going to be it. So, but wanted to make sure I had lines run through for future purposes, because I wanted to have the aesthetics of the electrical lines running through the community, looking all nice and pretty that way. And was having a bit of issues with trying to connect this across. Didn't want to use anarchy, kind of wanted to have it kind of go naturally, so thinking, spreading it out the bridge a little more, giving a little more space to kind of have it run through. There we go, just get that stretched out, and still just doesn't want to connect through properly. So just readjust that and kind of give up on that for the moment. And try it again. Put that down. And trying to use buoys to kind of jump the power grid along, but it doesn't want to do that. Also, since I don't think power is really connected right now, so it really wouldn't have made any difference at this point. But it was an idea that I picked up from, I want to say Jedi, but I can't remember for sure. I think it might have been somebody else. But using the natural disasters mods to actually build jumper points for your electrical grid. It was Imperial Jedi that I did get that idea off of, but yeah, for some reason I wasn't kind of working with that. But you know, the new plan, which was to actually just run it alongside the bridge, kind of jutted out, did kind of work. So kind of went along with it for the time being. I'm just trying to get that in there, and there we go. So now we have the electrical line running through, and that's all it connected through there. And looking still not running with the power, which is still kind of odd. I have no idea why it's still not doing this at the time. Figured out why eventually, just because you actually need to have this on a river, and you can't actually have it on at the mouth of a lake like I have it there right now. So whenever I try to connect it, it's not going to. It'll go across. It'll say that it's supposed to get the power, but it just won't actually do it. So the power will just instantly not work for some stupid reason. It's something that Paradox should actually fix with this game, because this is where you would put a dam if you were going to put a dam. You wouldn't really put it on the river, you put it at the mouth of the lake, and let the lake be the basin for your hydro dam. So but yeah, that's what it's. So yeah, so I'm gonna be consistently kind of trying to see, maybe it's just the way I put it down or whatnot, and a lot of times it's just not working at all. This is kind of one of the downsides of kind of experiment with this game live, because I don't really use hydroelectric dams that often, just because there's always issues with flooding or the issues with the power just not wanting to properly generate, which happens with me far too often, so I just abandoned the idea of it. So even tried putting it lower down on the thing, still not getting any power, but still in the same general area, just slightly lower. I'll even try other things. I'll try adding on additional water sources, just to see, maybe it's just the water. Right now, I had checked online to see what the issues might be. They're saying it's, water is not high enough, so this is why I'm actually reducing the height of the hydro dam. Turn it off, turn it on, see if maybe that would reset it so it actually properly works. But that's still doing nothing. And it also says that, we might have to wait a little bit for the time to go for the system to actually start working. So I'm like, well, I guess that could possibly be it, but this is me right now looking things up. So again, still not operating, still not doing anything, still don't understand why it's not doing anything. That's why I have the time running at max speed right now. And just kind of let it sit down, see if it's actually going to do anything. Still not doing anything. Looking around, everything's still moving around just fine, but still trying to figure out what is going on. What is going on? Every so often, if you see the video, the screen just kind of jump from like one side to the other, that's probably me going over to my other screen, and the game not thinking that I'm actually like scrolling farther past on the screen, so it just juts on over like crazy. So if you do see me just like sliding on the screen all of a sudden, that's what that is. Yeah, so yeah, I tried adding the second water source to give it more water. Turning off and on again. It's like literally right at the very top of the dam, but the water is still not going through, power still not being generated. Still can't figure out exactly what it is, but as I said, eventually I realized that it is, you have to actually have it on a river, so you actually have to move it down for that to work, so I have to be into the canal. And then here's the water just launching its way through, so putting it down here. I think there is when it was too high up, so that's why it wouldn't work in that specific spot. So it's actually physically too high. So if I actually did drop it down a little bit more, then it actually would properly work. But at this point I'm still thinking maybe it's just a time issue, so kind of let it go. Searching online again, seeing if it'll work. And as I said, that's when I was going over to my web browser trying to see what it is, and yeah, that's why those jumps occur. But again, still not showing up. Go through, delete it one more time. Pop it over there, and boom, we got power. So now I know that for power wise, you'd have to actually put it all the way over there as opposed to putting it anywhere else. And now I have to delete all those roads and all the power lines just because it's kind of useless all over there. So that all gets deleted. I was thinking about doing the line up through here, but yeah, there's a lot of issues with the game not wanting to go up through there, so everything kind of just not wanting to for height wise, so everything's always just slope too strong, so it's like and then yeah, you have a massive bridge like that going through the area, and it doesn't look that great, but you know, it's a connection going through, so it's better than nothing. It was something that I kind of wanted to put over there anyways, and just kind of level out the terrain in that area so it kind of looks more natural. And delete that line there. And the thing won't even connect on that issue. This is where I was starting to get frustrated with everything about that. Just really being annoying. Now selecting all the nodes in the area there. Get that all over there, and then just trying to slope the terrain so it all kind of works nicely together. And now I'm kind of adjusting the road and adjusting the power grid so it's actually running along the side there. Yeah, there we go. So now we got that going. Now might as well, while I'm at it, finish off the power lines running along the highway and connecting out to the outside of town, so it's more on a state or national grid, so it makes things a little easier. Here I am trying to see if it would actually fit underneath the overpass there, but it just doesn't quite work, so do the loop outside around the interchange. Hopefully that would work a little bit nicer. And then running the power lines down in the similar manner that I did on the other bridge. I'm just trying to make sure it'll actually fit in there. There we go. And then just end up having to do smaller increment lines here to either 2 or 3 poles, kind of running through because it's on a curve, so can't really go too far on that. And as we get into more straightaways, then you can kind of get longer lines going through, so you're not having to do it as often. So there you go. So you can see when it starts getting straight, I can start doing like 6 or 7 poles at a time. Yeah, here we start getting a little more narrow in terms of our median size, so that doesn't quite work as well. Now, heading down the other highway. I was trying with Anarchy to see if I can get that to go across nicely with Anarchy, and that actually kind of works, so it's like, well, might as well just keep it going. Turn off the Anarchy for the rest of it and kind of go around the curve and open things up, because this is a point where we get a few of these highways that end up being a bit too close together. So we got like a small little line for the median, so I had to kind of squeeze it through and adjust it. So get rid of those few nodes, kind of spread that out, make sure it's nice and good, and then get ourselves over to this interchange again. Do the same thing, gotta rotate that around one side, flip that around the interchange again. And right now it's just hard trying to find that exact area to kind of get my power lines in, so it's maybe back to adjusting the highway size again to get the medians a little bit wider. There we go. So now it's just drawn such a strong curve, we're gonna have to do it like a couple of issues at a time. And we're back down to the main issue, which is always just a little bit of lack of space. Because whenever these roadways are being built on the maps, you know, a lot of them are not done with the parallel line tools, are all done by eye, so they look amazing, but and a lot of work goes into them, but there's no uniformity. It's more free-form, like an actual highway generally end up kind of being, where there will be some of those shorter spots and longer spots depending on the terrain, so it gives a lot more realism. But you know, when you're playing the game and you wanting that symmetry, it doesn't quite work the same. Yeah, so here I am getting across the river on that one. And now back to adjusting the roadway once more. I'm grabbing a crap ton of nodes and pulling that all out there, getting us space that we need till we get through to the other side of the highway, and then just getting through like so, and there we go. That is our power lines connected through all of the map, so I have the ability to jut it all out across through everything. Now, I do have the road power mod, so all the electric roads mod. That's what it is. So all the roads are electrified. So once the roads are connected to a power grid, it will transmit the power. Just for ease of use, but I still wanted the aesthetics of power lines, so that's why I have the power lines running around everywhere. Plus, it'll give me an excuse to not build on sides of major roads, because I'm always bad about that, and I always do build off the sides of the major roads. But here I am going to start doing my interchange, which is something that I definitely need to do. And this, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Imperial Jedi on this one, because he was doing his part of the 5 Builders 1 City thing on for Cities Skylines with Biffa, Tmeister, City Builders Plays, and Cesardis. So this is doing on his, that he was actually doing these big, like, sweeping interchanges. I'm like, that actually looks really freaking good. I should implement that on mine and steal his idea. So that is exactly what I did. I stole his idea, and I put that in mine, where I'm having larger sweeping interchanges. So you have so all the roads have those big sweeping lines, so you're not going to have the backup going through as much, because you're going to have a lot more space to get in and out of. And running the lines like that, so these look, there's a lot more space to get in and out of the highways and in and out of the areas that they're connecting, so traffic shouldn't be as much of a concern, but you never know. It's the crazy world we live in, that, you know, things will always end up going to hell. Now it's just trying to adjust everything so all the lines kind of fit. Also make the roads look a little cleaner, a little bit nicer. I'm just trying to snap everything so it doesn't look so jarring. I'm going to make those lines a little less sweeping. This is something I normally don't really do too much of, which is which is building my own interchanges, and B, actually spending the effort to try to make them look better. Like, I just pop them down, it's like good enough. But this time I actually, I kind of want to try to see if I can make this look decent, and this ends up looking pretty good. It looks nice. You've got good sweeping areas, and now kind of just going in, pulling things in and out, making sure they all line up pretty nicely, look a little more symmetrical. Still having issue with that change from the 4-lane into the 2 lanes per. They were kind of becoming a bit of an annoyance. But, yeah, then gotta keep them going. We're still trying to figure that out. And then as I'm about to get nodes in there, and the game crashed. Of course it did. And me being a moron, I forgot to save anything, and I actually did this at the same time that I did the first video, just walking around and zoning all the districts. So I am now going to have to go through and redo everything. I'm going to go do all that, rezone it all, and then redo everything I did before, and I will see you once when all that is done.
Was a little Spanish flea, a record star, he thought he'd be. He heard of singers like Beatles, the Chipmunks he seen on TV. Why not a little Spanish flea? And so he did.
Okay, and we're kind of back here. So yeah, unfortunately, did not save any of that, so we kind of got like lost literally everything. So I had to actually rebuild everything from scratch. But now it's actually rebuilt, so did actually adjust the interchange here a little bit more. Looks a little cleaner except for the odd turn over here, which originally I was going to try to straighten up. I'm like, you know what? I'll take this little quirk one, because that one's actually not too bad. So gonna go with that there. So there's only a couple more things I kind of want to do. I just kind of even that out, so this is good. Now, last things I need to do is make sure that we actually do have our lane connectors in properly, so we don't have these guys trying to do anything stupid on the roads, because they will if they are given the opportunity. So prevent them from doing anything stupid on the roads. So, oh, I guess I should delete that one first. Yeah, we're going to need to do a little bit of lane mathematics on here before I finish that off, which I forgot to do. And I'm actually going to upgrade that to a 4-lane as opposed to dropping it down to a 2, just because I want to give them I want to give them as much lanes as they can for driving down the highway. There we go. Now each one has its own lane. There we go. Make sure they don't change lanes there. I guess I should also add them on this side as well. And add them on this side. Because we're going to need them on each side, which I wasn't thinking. So there we go. Now I'll go back here. There you go, so now they have the lane to get off. You can choose it over here. And they pick the lanes and go through there. Down here. Same thing, everyone gets their own lane as they leave. And everyone gets their own lane at the off-ramp, and they can make their choice over here. These guys can also make their choice over here. And And then here's where they merge. So it gives them a little extra space to get her done. One last thing I'm going to do is move that node a little bit more, just a little more even space between the other two nodes, so yeah, better switching. But there we go. So that will be that access going into here, and the dam is a little bit better now. It's actually a little more went a little bit higher up, so it's a little more even terrain, and it's actually pumping out 600 megawatts of power, which is good. But aside from that, everything's pretty much the same. No road going up here anymore. That one kind of died because of all this crap. Might try to sneak it through here, but probably not. Don't really need it. I can always kind of put something over here for kind of a lookout, or do a ski hill, or maybe something up there. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go along. But yeah, that's where we're going to kind of end this for this episode. I'm not going to risk it going any farther, just because I know if I do, I might end up having something stupid happen, like lose another save. But now I'm just doing more. I did a couple saves in here, so we're going to be good for that. So, but as I said, we got everything else kind of set up again. So now we have our roadways all have the power lines, which they don't actually need them because they do actually have the electric roads mod. But I wanted the aesthetic of having the power lines running along the middle of the entire highway, so it looks like that's how we're supplying the power everywhere, except for any of these junctions where they actually had to go around the junction. Yeah, so except for here, yeah, we got going around there, but everything else, yeah, kind of looks like that's how everything's connected. I just see now that the road's connected to the line, everything through here is now properly connected because we actually have power going through it all. But we're still going to run the lines along the highways, just for the aesthetic value. So as I said, we're going to leave it here for tonight. So I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that, as it definitely helps the algorithm and helps the channel. So because YouTube, they don't like having anything new, because new could be dangerous, so they don't want to promote anything new. They only want to have what they got. So you have to kind of feed the algorithm to kind of get them to take notice of you. So anybody who actually kind of puts that in there, it's always truly grateful, because it will give us the ability to be seen by more people, and that's always going to be good. I do try to post in as many communities as I can, so if anybody's joining from any of the other communities that are out there, thanks so much for doing that, like Reddit or Facebook, or even just organically off of YouTube. Thank you so much for coming in and taking part and watch my video, and I'm truly appreciative of that. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and have yourselves a good night.